Hello there. How are you? Greetings and salutations. As always, I hope you're having a beautiful day in this beautiful life. And if you're not, that's okay too. Tomato, tomato, man. Sometimes, life feels great. Sometimes life doesn't feel great. And it's all a part of the human experience. Yeah. Um, I don't know who needed to hear this video, but yesterday I met up with a friend and she was struggling with panic attacks. She was also struggling with how her outer reality was currently unfolding, if that even makes sense. And it's funny, it's not funny actually, but in a lot of my videos, I say get comfortable being uncomfortable because throughout life you will encounter things, you will encounter experiences that will put you through the ringer. How you choose to deal with that is completely up to you, but I've noted anytime like everything gets kind of like turned upside down, you're definitely going through a transitional phase, where kind of like the snake shedding its own skin. And yeah, that's very uncomfortable. Or a crab molting or a lobster molting, you know, it's a very uncomfortable process, and you can either fight it or you can flow with it. Hardest thing to do, I feel, is flow with it, especially since society has programmed us to, um, yeah, constantly distract ourselves in activities, and society has also conditioned us to be very afraid. Very afraid. Oh my God, it feels uncomfortable. I'm afraid. Yeah. Hey, hold on. I gotta shift, man. Yeah, some essential things they have never taught you in school. Like instead of freak out, calm yourself. Yeah, seriously. Like if you're freaking out, like how can you I don't know, make sense of anything? You can't make sense of anything when you're freaking out. Like, so you have to go, okay, right now I am freaking out. Let me calm myself, calm myself. And it's funny. Yeah, I guess you could do like breathing exercises to calm yourself. Some people do that. Some people do journaling. Some people, you know, I don't know. Okay, so you know what is the most effective remedy when you're freaking out, when you're going through transition, when something feels uncomfortable, when your reality is not lining up to your standards? Um, yeah, just do nothing. Do nothing. It sounds counterintuitive, but honestly, do nothing. Because when you're in a state of mania or you're in a state of paranoia, um, the worst thing you want to do is make choices from that space, from that mental headspace, because you're just going to make really rash decisions from your feelings that may not be reasonable, and it will create a snowball effect, because you didn't make a really concise and clear decision because you're coming from a space of erratic emotion. Yeah, that's why calmness. And it's funny. Well, I'm gonna get into it, but let me light the Palo Santo. Light this Palo Santo, guys. Cleanse the energy. Yeah. So I met up with a friend yesterday, and yeah, she was in a very, I want to say, unsettling state of being. Yeah, and sorry, let me just finish doing this. By the way, at any moment, if you have really short attention span or you would like to consume information faster, you could totally speed up the video, because I've noted that I can be very slow to deliver in these videos. And so if you're just like, fuck man, this chick is talking so, just speed it up. Speed it up. 1.25, 1.5, 2.0. That's what I do. I'm like, man, I only have limited amount of time. I need to get this information down, you know? And I can't be listening to somebody talk like this for 20 minutes. Right, back to lighting this Palo Santo. I had to pause the video momentarily because there was something I needed to attend to, but here we go. Here we go. Light that Palo Santo. Okay, so yeah, the whole video, the whole purpose of this video, honestly, is if you are going through a life transition that is very uncomfortable, if you are encountering panic attacks, which my friend was experiencing, um, I am well versed with these things because I don't know if you saw my like I had panic attacks probably a couple of years ago, and oh my god, it was horrific. There was no one around me to calm me down. I couldn't even calm myself down, and I think the longest panic attack that I had lasted 18 hours straight. I would not wish this upon my worst enemy. It was just crazy. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with panic attacks, but this was my first time having them to this degree. And I didn't go to a doctor because I don't believe in doctors. Everybody has their own opinion on that. Um, and I just buckled down. I buckled down and I like went through it. And it was like the most intense and most horrific thing ever. Yeah, I remember like, I tried watching videos, I tried reading material, I tried breathing exercises. I literally was feeling like something was inside my skin and I wanted to like pull it out, you know? And yeah, dude. So the ultimate remedy to remedying this particular sensation or state of mind is do nothing. Absolute stillness. Because if you think about it, anytime you go to like relieve yourself, you're just feeding it, you know? You're like feeding the monster. So like instead of feeding it by reacting, if you stay calm and still and firm and you just like observe the sensation without doing anything, like complete stillness and do nothing, it goes away so much quicker. That's the secret. Yeah. You're gonna go to a doctor and they're just gonna fucking like medicate you. How does that help you? That doesn't get to the root cause of the problem. It just like temporarily numbs the sensations, you know? Anyways, let's move on. You can do whatever you need to do what is best for you. I'm not saying don't go to doctors. I personally don't. I like work through it on my own. Energetically speaking, mentally speaking, like I would just like sit with myself. Um if you're interested in learning how to master yourself in such a way, I highly recommend Vipassana, Vipassana meditation retreats because honestly, and it's all donation based, so you don't have to go and pay $3,000. Yeah, I don't know. I That never really sat well with me. You know how like people pay like $3,000 to go to a retreat? No, thank you. Yeah, this is like ancient Buddhist meditation practices. They usually have like 10-day courses, and yeah, if you want, I mean, it's a step on the path. Anyways, I'm veering off topic. Um, so anyways, my friend was like, "Well, where is this coming from?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's from your mind. The panic attacks, it's from your mind." And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Think about it. Like a lot of people are unaware or unconscious of what is like what they're telling themselves mentally, because we have all these thoughts running through our head throughout the day. A lot of it is fear based, a lot of it feeds worry and doubt, very low vibrational, like thoughts, words, spells. And then you got to ask yourself, like, I don't know, you have to be aware enough to catch yourself and not feed in to these thoughts. And that's why, like, I don't know if you've noticed in like my previous videos, if you even watch them, I will like literally take my mind and put it aside, take my mind, put it aside, and tell it to, okay, you stay there. And when I call upon you for your services, then you can come. Because a lot of people like are too stuck in their mind, man. Like, ah, worrying about who knows what they're worrying about. Worrying about a bill, worrying about a relationship, worrying about, I don't know, just worrying about so much stuff. And, after a while, if you don't like check that shit, you're going to freak out. It's going to overload your nervous system. You're not even aware that you're doing that to yourself. And then you have to ask yourself, where are these intrusive thoughts coming from? This is what my friend said. My friend was like, yeah, like, where are these intrusive thoughts coming from? I'm like, man, I don't know. Could be entities trying to like take control of your mind so that they can, I don't know, like have a joyride in your body, like, and experience the earth realm. I don't know. I mean, that's just a theory because there's a lot of entities out there, unseen forces. I feel like 99% of this reality is invisible. But, we're going to like say, oh, this 1% is real. No, it's all projections. Anyways, yeah, man, panic attack starts with your mind. So you literally have to like take a step back, take a step back and like literally sit with yourself and go, okay, what thoughts am I predominantly entertaining right now? Do I have to entertain these thoughts? Are they mine? And honestly, like when you get to know yourself and you're highly self-aware, you can tell you're like the master regulator of that shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? So like for instance, like, a lot of people are like easily influenced. Um, yeah. If you have mastered yourself to some degree, like the likelihood of somebody influencing your decision or your perception is very, very little. Very little. That's why my channel is about self mastery. Know yourself, and master thyself. That way, nobody can like control you, and you have ultimate liberation, kind of, sort of. And there's, different levels and degrees of liberation. And so, like, I mean, you have to like constantly work at it. Yeah. So she said like she saw this healer like last week or something. This friend that I'm talking about, and she was like, "Oh my god, I got like these like profound shifts and insights." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great." And I'm like, "But you know that you have to like." It's a continuous practice, right? Like a daily practice. It's not like a one-off thing. You don't go see a healer and then they help you, because ultimately the healer is just a guide to help you help yourself. They're not healing you. They're guiding you. They're guiding you, because you're willing to make the change. Yeah. But anyways, I'm like, it's not a one-off thing. You don't just go to a healer and then the thing miraculously goes away and then like you're free. It's like, no, you have to have a like daily practice of routinely and ritualistically cleansing your energy, like keeping that vibe high. What is a good example I can give you? Hmm, off the top of my head. Okay, say this is a good example. Let me grab this. Sorry, I have a dirty spoon on my table. Who cares? Okay, say a person who is unhealed is this dirty spoon. You know, it's dirty. And you go to see a healer, and the healer goes, well, like she directs you and walks you through the process of cleansing, okay? Like healing, cleansing. And the healer tells you, okay, well, you just need to go in some water and maybe like with some friction and some soap, you will be clean, and then maybe sit in some sunshine to dry off. Okay. So you do that. And you're like, oh my God, I'm healed. I'm clean. But then you go and you dip your spoon in some soup or something and you're dirty again. And then you just sit like that. And you're like, oh, what's wrong? How come I feel yucky? You need to constantly cleanse, man. It's not a one time thing, so every day. Like you're going to be dipping your spoon in something, and then you need to go and take a shower, wash it off, sit in some sunshine, breathe some fresh air, you know? That's, yeah, was that a good analogy? Who knows? Anyways, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm pretty absent-minded. And I think maybe the universe wanted me to be this way, so maybe it's a way to cloak myself. Yeah. I don't know. This is going into a totally different subject that I don't want to go in, but yeah. I really feel like I don't know. I really can't. I guess it depends on the person and where they are at on the energetic scale of things. Like I always wonder like how people perceive me, and I feel like I don't know. People probably think I'm goofy and dumb, dude. But I like it that way. That way I don't draw unnecessary attention to myself. And then yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop. I don't even know where this last bit was coming from. But let's recap. If you are having panic attacks, hardest thing in the world is to just be still and do nothing. Because I swear to God, the more you like react, like, oh, let me like grab something, let me like do deep breathing, you're just fueling it. You're fueling the sensation, you're prolonging it. It's like throwing gasoline in fire, you know? So like I know it's so uncomfortable. I know it's like sometimes like over the top, like unbearable, but just do nothing. I promise. So like when I first got my panic attacks, I had to take a leave of absence from work, and they thought I was going to be out for at least I don't know 6 months to a year, and I controlled that stuff on my own within a month. Actually, I think I got it under control with like in 2 weeks time, but I gave myself another 2 weeks to just relax so I don't put any more like pressure on me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I controlled that on my own in 2 weeks time. And then I further supported that by, you know, giving myself additional time to just chill and relax. But I think at the time, like I said, my mind, at the time, I was just putting too much pressure and tension on myself. I was managing a not a business, it wasn't my business, but I was managing a store at the time, and I was doing everything on my own, and I was trying to forecast like 4 months in advance, and I had all these like I was completely fragmented, and I overloaded my system, and that was my system telling me to stop. You know what I mean? um and then also like get out of your fucking mind, dude. Your mind would just drive you nuts. I'm telling you, dude, I'm like not in my mind 80 to 90% of the time. Like literally. Like even when I'm making this video, I'm not in my mind. I'm just letting things flow. It's like an open channel. Like you just flow. Like I'm not thinking too hard about all this stuff. It's just flowing. Anyways, I'm going to stop. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for stopping by, and blessings to one and all. Amen.